My dear viewers, hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Culture Magazine, during which we're going to bring you the latest cultural events that are taking place in Egypt.
Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdeldaim nominated a cultural and artistic delegation to represent Egypt in the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and participate in the celebrations of selecting the city of Irbid, the Arab capital of culture, for 2022. This came through an Egyptian Cultural Week held in the Jordanian city of Irbid in order to activate the exchange program that both sides have certified. The Jordanian Minister of Culture, Haifa al-Najjar, said that the program includes several tracks of cultural cooperation between Egypt and Jordan, including a number of artistic and cultural fields, management, and specialized industries that are to exchange experiences and provide opportunities for the intellectuals of the two countries for dialogue and fruitful communication to raise people's awareness of various issues. Mr. Abdeldaim congratulated the people of Jordan for choosing Irbid as the Arab capital of culture in 2022. It is noteworthy that the delegation traveling to hold the Egyptian Cultural Week in Jordan to celebrate the selection of Irbid as the Arab capital of culture for 2022 is headed by the head of the Cultural Development Fund sector, Dr. Fathi Abdul Wahab, and the head of the Artistic House of Theater, Ismail Mukhtar. The program of activities includes several cultural seminars prepared by the Supreme Council of Culture and the Cultural Development Fund to hold an exhibition for the arts of Arabic calligraphy and another for traditional crafts. The minister said that Egypt and Jordan share deep historical ties, adding that soft power in their various forms are one of the means of consolidating relations with different people, noting that mutual creative activities between the two countries have been established for decades. Minister of Culture Dr. Ines Abdeldaim has nominated a number of artistic teams affiliated with the sectors of the ministry to represent Egypt in international forums around the world. Abdeldaim said that the Egyptian participation in international artistic and cultural events asserts the existence of a civilized leadership, adding that it expresses the distinguished position Egypt enjoyed by the national creative colors, noting that arts and culture are an effective means to build bridges of communication and open up more spacious horizons to consolidate bonds with the world. It is worth mentioning that the coming period is expected to witness a prominent Egyptian presence in many specialized international events where the heroes of the theatrical show Good Night, produced by the Artistic House of the Theatre, will travel to Algeria to participate in the Mediterranean Theatre Days in Oran.
إذن صحيح.
تخبى فين؟ خبيني.
يا ربي.
انت مستنظره تليفون من حد؟
فريد ارجوك ارحم عذابي.
عبد القادر باشا سليم وعبد الرحيم باشا اكمل طلعوا اخوات.
وليكن
عار عليك يا فريد بك. فطين شوكة حشمة ناظر كاظم كشف مؤامرتكم
دون ان تلاحظوا الكاميرا السريه.
انا برضو اندهشت.
يا حفتي.
شكريه.
شكرية الهلالي.
ايه؟
يابا يلا يابا حضرت لك القعدة.
ما طلعتش حنيه خالص.
يا نهار اسود يا نهار اسود. ليلتكم سعيدة.
ليلتكم سعيده.
ليلتكم سعيدة.
ليلتكم سعيدة.
The Rida folklore troupe will also fly to Italy to participate in the conclusion of the cultural season of the Academy of Egyptian Arts Company in Rome. And the traditional Tanura troupe takes part in the celebrations of the 75th anniversary of the Egyptian-Indian diplomatic relations. And the Suhag folklore troupe travels to Serbia to attend the International Folklore Festival.
يا مصر يا أم الأمم يا مصر يا أم الأمم نيلك اتولد قبل الهرم فيك العلم منارة وفيك الفن حضارة يا مصر يا أم الأمم نيلك اتولد قبل الهارة. بوس الربابة يكسر وسماش كتاب مفتوح واللحن عمال يطير جوا قلوبنا الجروح. قول يا رباب الغلاب.
The Cairo Opera House plays a significant role in the cultural movement that is taking place in Egypt. Please stay tuned.
The Cairo Opera House hosted Cleopatra Ballet presented by the Cairo Opera Ballet Company under the supervision of its artistic director Mrs. Armenia Kamel, accompanied by the Cairo Opera Orchestra led by Maestro Mohammed Saad Pasha.
The Cairo Opera House asked me to do music for the Cleopatra, and there was a scenario that was made by José Perret. José Perret is a choreographer, I think, from Colombia. He lives in Italy. He did the scenario with the help of Madame Armenia Kamel, the head of the ballet company, Cairo Opera House. and we did the music online because he was in Italy and I'm in Egypt, so we did online, step by step, piece by piece, and the music took for me working around 8 months, and then it came out in the first version, October 2019, and then Madame Armenia Kamel, the head of the ballet company, decided to have another version. Somehow it is an abbreviation from the first version. We omitted some dances, some parts of dances, and then it came out in this second performance, in its second version. I think this version is more compact than the first one, and I think more attractive. When first time I composed the music, because I composed number 2 before number 1, and so many other pieces in the whole ballet. I use my private vision and my own style of music and my own style of how can I express these things that happened in the past. Very important, which instruments to use and what form to apply in the music. So it took some time at the beginning, at the very first beginning, it took some time for me to manage all those things, all those elements, very specified music elements, and then it came out with more and more. So I can manage all the things happened, and all the events happened in the scenario itself. First of all, how to use the instrument, how to explore, how to compose a new themes that could be somehow derived from the old Egyptian music, because we don't know exactly what, because there is no notation of the old Egyptian music. So somehow derived. Usage of some very important instrument, just like harp, wind instrument, and light percussions. These things was taken from the old Egyptian civilization. It is in the history. So these are the very important elements that you use to make music.
Of course, you are the conductor, so you move all the dancers, and there's this harmony. Especially when I interview some dancers, they always tell me like it's better to have a live orchestra than to have a recorded something, because we go with the beat on stage, and it feels something flawless, of course.
Yes, because the eye contact and the soul contact on the stage, very, very important. When you have pre-recorded music for the dancer, it would be like machine. For instance, specifically yesterday's performance was having something on the stage, so I have to be in contact with the stage and have to move the music, to feel what happens on the stage. So live performance it's very interesting and needs experience, and I mean, you have to know the music very well. You have to know the dancers very well. You have to know the moves they make to have this direction to be successful. I mean, thank you.
The Cleopatra's ballet revolves around the historical story of the Queen of Egypt and her marriage to Mark Antony, who shared the role of the Roman Empire with Octavius after killing Julius Caesar. Then Octavius declared war against Cleopatra and Mark Antony, as well as their defeat in the naval battle of the Actium and their tragic end after the victory of their opponent.
So to treat it in a ballet, it was not easy from the very beginning. And the first time that we were performing this ballet was in 2019, but with a different version. So it was not very well melted the first time. So I decided not to lose this very important ballet and very important title, to review it, and so I was adding some part of dance. I was cutting some other parts that were not useful for the dramatic line of the story. And I was even treating the personage maybe in a different way, especially Cleopatra, that is a stereotype. It's a very big, a very strong figure. And the last time was treated, in the previous version, was treated a little bit more as a woman. But what is interesting is not the woman's story, which is the same love and death and birth. So this is for everybody. But what it is interesting is the power that Cleopatra had at that time. So I think that with the change that I was doing this time, the story is stronger. But of course, during the rehearsals was a little bit more difficult because I had to teach new part of the ballet. And even with Mohammed Saad Basha, who is the composer and the director, the musical director of this performance, it was a cooperation because I was asking him to cut some piece and to make longer some other piece. So I had from him a very big cooperation, and I have to thank you very much because he's the composer of the music. But he was so cooperative, and he understood why I was asking him this change. And he was even at the very end, he was agreeing that this version works better than the previous one. You have to know there are many characters. It's not only Cleopatra in this ballet. There is Caesar, there is Antonio, there is Ottaviano, there is Apollodoro, there is Tolomeo, all the characters of the history. We take exactly the characters of the history that were surrounding Cleopatra. And I have to say that even the cooperation with all the soloists and all the corps de ballet was very important, and I am very satisfied that they could help me to make all this change, and they were cooperating in this overwork that I was asking them. This version deserves to be seen, and it's a part of the historical power of Egypt, which is very important for all the world, very well known in all the world.
Today we will perform ballet Cleopatra, one of ballet what I love. We speak about Egyptian history, Egyptian queen, and it's very nice if you show for all the world your history, pharaonic history. This is something very important for us. To be as a professional ballet company and to perform one of very big ballet like Cleopatra, we are preparing so much time for this ballet, and we performing 2 years ago, but this time we have little bit some changing in the subject, in the history, in the dancing also way, and I dance the role of Apollodoro. He's the friend of the Cleopatra. He goes here in her trip history, and he joined her to travel to Rome to meet Caesar and to meet Antonio. He was know everything about what will come. That's why he was like the secret man for Cleopatra. That's why he was one of best friend, and for all history and for all planning what they are looking for, he was in the spot. I think we are using in Egyptian way in this time. Last time was have one choreographer from Cuba, but he was showing the story not like what we know. That's why we was have a little bit some of not understanding moment. That's why we try this time to fix it, to show for our audience the real history of Cleopatra. This is not first time I performing Ballet Cleopatra. When I was so young, like 16, 17 years old, it was also we have one choreography like Antonio and Cleopatra, one small ballet like 25 minutes, and I was one of the member of this ballet. That's why when you have some story and you use it with different way, with different choreography, with different style of dance, this is make for you a little bit more experience and give you like some secret moment how to show for audience.
The Cairo Opera Ballet Company has been blessing us with its brilliant art since 1966, performing on its hometown stages and at other opera houses around the world, such as the Nutcracker, Swan Lake, Don Quixote, Cinderella, Carmen, Zorba, and many countless ballet performances. The ballet company has never failed to impress the audiences with its mind-blowing performances, and for sure, this one is considered one of the best passionate ballet shows ever. Dazzling performance aroused the story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony with all the platonic love, war, defeat, and the tragedy that this story holds. It was definitely an intense performance. After all, ballet is one of the most expressive forms of art. Shuruk Bikir, Cultural Magazine.
Egypt is a country that is always preserving heritage. It's the country of civilization, the country where everything started in the world.
Among the Cairo Opera House nights on its different theaters, a concert for the Arabic Music Heritage Ensemble was held on the Arabic Music Institute Theater, led by the great maestro Farouk Al-Babli. A distinguished evening which included a group of works from the time of beautiful art developed by great composers. According to the program of the ceremony, موشح إملا للأقداح from the old heritage was performed in addition to حب إيه for بليغ حمدي, أمل حياتي for محمد عبد الوهاب, إياك من حبي for فريد الأطرش, بكرة تعرف for محمد سلطان, قولولي أعمل إيه وياه for حسين جنيد, مالي بيه for علي فراج, من الباب للشباك for محمد الموجي, بتسأل لي عليا for فؤاد حلمي, and يا قمر يا اسكندراني for كمال الطويل. The songs were performed by رضوى سعيد, محي سعيد, حسناء, محمد شوقي, حنان عصام, and ياسر سليمان. The National Ensemble for Arab Music is an Egyptian orchestra to revive the masterpieces of music and heritage. Founded in 1989 by Dr. Ratib Al-Hifni, Maestro Selim Sahab has led the troupe until now in the Egyptian Opera House. The troupe succeeded for 3 decades in drawing the attention and hearing of the masses for the original artistic values in the Arab music. The Institute of Arab Music was opened in 1922 during the reign of King Fuad I and was called the Royal Institute of the Arab Music. It was one of the most important musical centers in Egypt for teaching Arabic music and preserving heritage. The building of the old Institute of the Arab Music is a historical heritage place belonging to the Egyptian Opera House, and the institute houses the museum of the musician Muhammad Abdul Wahab and his personal belongings. It has a museum of ancient musical instruments that are distinguished by their beauty and ingenuity of design.
Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Culture Magazine. I hope you've enjoyed being with me. Please wait for me in the next episode. Until then, it's goodbye.